Valiant Othello, we must straight employ you against the general enemy Ottoman. I did not see you. Welcome, gentle senor. We lacked your counsel and your help tonight.
So did I yours. Good your grace, pardon me. Neither my place nor aught I heard of business hath raised me from my bed, nor doth the general care take hold upon me. For my particular grief is of so floodgate and overbearing a nature that it engluts and swallows all other sorrows, and is still itself.
Why, what's the matter?
My daughter, oh, my daughter.
Dead?
Aye. To me, she is abused, corrupted by medicines bought of mountebanks, her nature so preposterously to err, being neither deficient, blame, nor lame of sense, sans witchcraft could not.
Whoever he be that in this foul proceeding hath thus beguiled your daughter of herself and you of her, the bloody book of law you yourself shall read in the bitter letter, after your own sense, yea, so our proper son stood in your action.
Humbly I thank your grace. Here is the man, this Moor, whom now it seems your special mandate for the state affairs has hither brought.
What in your part can you say to this?
Nothing, but this is so.
Most potent, grave, and reverend signors, my very noble and approved good masters, that I obtain away this old man's daughter, it is most true. True, I have married her. The very head and front of my offending hath this extent no more. Rude am I in speech, and little blessed with the soft praise of peace. For since these arms of mine had 7 years' pith till now, some 9 moons wasted, they have used their dearest action in the tented field. And little of this great world can I speak more than pertains to feats of broils and battle, and therefore little shall I grace my cause in speaking for myself. Yet, by your gracious patience, I will a round unvarnished tale deliver of my whole course of love. What drugs, what charms, what conjuration, and what mighty magic. For such proceedings I am charged withal. I won his daughter.
A maiden, never bold, of spirit so still and quiet that her motion blushed at herself. And yet she, in spite of nature, in spite of years, of country, of credit, of everything, to fall in love with what she feared to look on? 'Tis a judgment most failed that would conceive such a thing could occur. I therefore vouch again that with some mixtures, powerful over the blood, or with some dram conjured, this effect that he wrought upon her.
To vouch this is no proof. Without more wider and more overt tests than these thin habits and poor likelihoods of modern seeming do prefer against him. But Othello, did you by indirect and forced courses subdue and poison this young maid's affection? Or came it by request, as such fair question as soul to soul afforded?
I do beseech you, send for the lady to the secretary. Let her speak of me before her father. If you find me foul in her report, the trust, the office I do hold of you, not only take away, but let your sentence even fall upon my life.
Fetch Desdemona hither.
Ancient conductor, you best have a place. And till she come, as truly as to heaven, I shall confess the vices of my blood. So justly to your grave ears I'll present how I did thrive in this fair lady's love, and she in mine.
Say it, Othello.
Her father loved me, oft invited me, still questions me the story of my life from year to year. The battles, the sieges, the fortunes that I had passed, I ran it through, even from my boyish days to the very moment that he bade me tell it, wherein I spoke of most disastrous chances, of moving accidents by flood and field, of hairbreadth escapes in the imminent deadly breach. of being taken by the insolent foe and sold to slavery, of my redemption thence and portents in my traveler's history, wherein of answers vast and deserts idle, rough quarries, rocks, and hills whose heads touch heaven, it was my hint to speak. Such was my process. And of the cannibals that each other eat, the anthropophagi, and men whose heads do grow beneath their shoulders, these things to hear would Desdemona seriously incline. But still, the house affairs would draw her thence. Whichever as she could with haste dispatch, she'd come again, and with a greedy ear devour of my discourse. This I observing took one suppliant hour, and found good means to draw from her a prayer of earnest heart, that I would all my pilgrimage dilate. Whereof by parcel she had something heard, but not intentively. I did consent, and often did beguile her of her tears when I did speak of some distressful stroke my youth did suffer. My story being done, she gave me for my pains a world of kisses. She swore in faith 'twas strange, 'twas passing strange, 'twas pitiful, 'twas wondrous pitiful. She wished she had not heard it, yet she wished that heaven had made her such a man. She thanked me, and bade that if I had a friend that loved her, I should but teach him how to tell my story, and that would move her. Upon this hint I spake. She loved me for the dangers that I had passed, and I loved her that she did pity them. This only is the witchcraft I have used. But here comes the lady. Let her witness it.
I think this tale was of my daughter too. Good Barbaccio, take up this mangled matter at best. Men do their broken weapons rather use than their bare hands.
I pray you, hear her speak. If she confess you are half the wooer, destruction on my head if my bad blame fall on the man. Come hither, gentle mistress. Do you perceive in all this noble company, where most you owe your obedience?
My noble father, I do perceive here a divided duty. To you I am bound for life and education. My life and education both do teach me how to respect you. You are the lord of duty, I am neither to your daughter. But here is my husband. And so much duty as my mother showed to you, preferring you before her father. So much I challenge that I may profess due to the more my lord.
God be with you. I have done. Good your grace, proceed to the state of affairs. I would rather adopt a child than to get it. Come hither, Moor. I here give you with all my heart that which, but thou hast already. With all my heart I would keep from thee. And for your sake, Jewel, I am glad at soul that I have no other child. For thy escape would teach me tyranny, to hang clogs on them. I have done, your grace.
Let me speak like yourself and lay a sentence, which as grise or step may help these lovers. When remedies are past, degrees are ended by seeing the worst, which late on hopes depended. To mourn a mischief that is past and gone is the next way to bring new mischief on. What cannot be preserved when fortune takes patient, for injury a mockery makes. The rob that smiles steals something from the thief. He robs himself that spins a bootless grief.
So that the Turk of Cyprus us beguile. We'll lose it not, so long as we can smile. He bears it well that nothing bears, but for the free comfort from thence he hears. But he bears both the sentence and the sorrow, that to pay grief must of poor patience borrow. These sentences to sugar or to gall, being strong on both sides, are equivocal. But words are words. I never yet did hear the bruised heart was pierced through the ear. I humbly beseech you, proceed to the affairs of the state.
The Turks, with a most mighty preparation, makes for Cyprus. Othello, the fortitude of the place is best known to you. And though we have there a substitute of most allowed sufficiency, yet opinion, the sovereign mistress of effects, throws a more sacred voice on you. You must therefore be content to slobber the dross of your new fortunes with this more boisterous and stubborn expedition.
The tyrant custom, most grave senators, hath made the flinty and steel couch of war my thrice-driven bed of death. I do acknowledge the natural and prompt alacrity I find in hardness, and do undertake this present wars against the Ottomans. Most humbly, therefore, bending to your state, I crave fit disposition for my wife, due reference of place and exhibition with such accommodation, and be sought as level with her breeding.
Why, at her father?
I will not have it so.
Nor I.
Nor would I there reside. To put my father in impatient thoughts by being in his eye? Most gracious lady, to my unfolding lend a prosperous ear, and let me find a charter in your voice to assist my simpleness.
What would you, Desdemona?
That I did love the more to live with him. My downright visings and storm of fortunes may trumpet to the world. My heart subdued even the very qualities of my lord. I saw Othello's visage in his mind, and to his honors and his valiant parts did I my soul and fortunes consecrate. So that, dear lords, if I be left behind a moth of peace, and he go to the war, the rights for why I love him are bereft me, and I a heavy interim shall support by his dear absence. Let me go with him.
Vouch for me, heaven, I therefore beg you not to please the palate of my appetite, nor to comply with heat the younger flanks of me defunct, but to be free and bounteous to her mind. And heaven defend your good souls that you think I will your serious and great business scant when she is with me. No. When light-winged toys of feathered Cupid seal with wanton dullness my speculative and office instruments, then my disport shall corrupt and taint my business. Let housewives make a skillet of my helm, and old base men deem adversities make head against my estimation.
Let it be as you shall privately determine, either her stay or going. This affair cries haste, and speed must answer it. You must away tonight.
With all my heart.
And in the morning we will meet here again. Othello, leave behind some officer, and he shall our commission bring to you, and such things else of quality and respect as doth import you.
Your Grace, my ancient, a man here is of honesty and trust. To his conveyance I assign my wife, with what else needful your good grace shall think to be sent down to me.
Let it be so. And noble Signor, if virtue no delighted beauty lack, your son-in-law is far more fair than black. Adieu, brave Moor. Use Desdemona well.
Look to her, Moor, if thou hast eyes to see. She has deceived her father, and made thee
My life upon her faith.
ha!
Honest young, my Desdemona, I must speak to thee. I prithee, set on thy wife to attend and bring them after in the best advantage. Come, Desdemona. I have but an hour of love, of worldly matters and direction to spend with thee. We must obey the time.
What sayest thou, noble heart?
What will I do, thinkst thou?
I go to bed and sleep.
I will incontinently drown myself.
If thou dost, I shall never love thee after. Why, thou silly gentleman?
Silliness to live, when to live is torment, and then have we a prescription to die. Death is our physician.
Villainous. I have looked upon this world for 4 times 7 years. And since I could distinguish betwixt a benefit and an injury, I have never found a man that knew how to love himself. Ere I would say I would drown myself for the love of a guinea hen, I would change my humanity with a baboon.
It cannot be. What should I do? I confess it is my shame to be so fond, but it is not my virtue to amend it.
Virtue. Virtue is a fig. It is in ourselves that we are thus or thus. Our bodies are our gardens, to the which our wills are gardeners. So that if we will plant lettuce or sow hyssop, supply it with one gender verbs or distract it with many, either have it sterile with idleness or manured with industry, why the power and the corrigible authority of this lies in our wills. If the beam of our lives had not one scale of reason to poise another of sensuality, the blood and the baseness of our very natures, they would conduct us to most preposterous conclusions. But we have reason, therefore, to cool our raging motions, our carnal stings, or unbidden lusts, whereof I take this that you call love to be a sect or scion. And it is. It's merely a lust of the blood and a permission of the will. Come, be a man. You drown myself, you drown cats, blind puppies. I have professed me thy friend, and I confess me knit to thy deserving with cables of perdurable toughness. I could never better stead thee than right now. Put money in thy purse. Follow thou these wars. It cannot be long that Desdemona shall continue her love to the Moor, nor he his to her. It was a violent commencement on her part, and thou shalt see an answerable sequestration. Therefore, put some money in my purse. The food that to him now is as luscious as locusts shall be to him shortly. There is Columbina. She must change for youth. When she is sated with his body, she will find the errors of her choice. If thou wilt needs damn thyself, do it a more delicate way than drowning. Make all the money thou canst. If sanctimony and a frail vow betwixt an erring barbarian and a super subtle Venetian be not too hard for my wits and all the tribe of hell, thou shalt enjoy her. Therefore, make money. A pox of drowning thyself, it's clean out of the way. Seek thou rather to be encompassing thy joy than to be drowned and go without her.
Thou be fast in my hope.
Thou art sure of me. You're sure of me. I've told thee often, and I retell thee again and again. I hate the Moor. My cause is hard. Thine has no less reason. Let us be conjunctive in our revenge against him. If thou canst cuckold him, thou dost thyself a pleasure, and me a sport. There are many events in the womb of time which will be delivered. Go, traverse, find thy money, huh?
Where shall we meet in the morning?
At my lodgings. Farewell. Dost thou hear, Rodrigo?
What say you?
No more drowning thyself. Dost thou hear?
I am changed.
Put enough money in thy purse, huh?
I will sell all my land.
And thus do I ever make my fool my purse. But I, mine own gained knowledge, should profane if I would time expend with such a snipe, but for my sport and profit. I hate the Moor, and it is thought abroad that twixt my sheets he has done my office. And I know not if it be true, were I for mere suspicion in that kind, I'll do as if for surety. He holds me well. The better shall my purpose work on him. Let's see. Cassio he's a proverb. To get his place, and to plume up my will in double knavery. How? Let me see now. After some time, to begin to abuse Othello's ear, that he is too familiar with his new wife. He hath a person and is smooth disposed to be suspected, framed to make women false. See, the Moor is of a free and open nature that thinks men honest, that but seem to be so. And he will as tenderly be led by the nose as asses are. Ha. I have it. 'Tis engendered. Hell and night must bring this monstrous birth to the world's light.